Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome to clip number 8 from a series of 9 clips about a 192k flight I made in the Andes in, I think it was August 2022. And this clip is taken from the final leg of the task, which was pretty much into wind. And I've rounded turning point 2. I've been looking out at the topography, the terrain, the layout of the hills and ridges and things, and got myself into a slightly indecisive mode. And I think with hindsight, what's really happened is that I have got almost drunk on the power of the ridges I've been flying on the task so far. And I've got myself into a mindset where I'm thinking ridges all the time. Because I don't think at this point I've even taken one thermal. So I've not even had any kind of, I've pulled up, I think, a bit under one or two of them, but nothing much. So I've never really sort of thought in thermal mode. And with hindsight, I think on this leg, I would have done better to take some of the obvious opportunities that were offered by cumulus clouds. And as we start this clip, if you look over the nose, there's a cumulus cloud here that is an obvious one to go for a climb, because having taken the climb, it might put me in a good position to dive on through the low bits between the hills and get into really quite a forward position. I can't remember whether I do that. I don't think I do. All I recall about this was I ended up having to do that kind of a thing only when I got myself into a right-off situation. So let's unpause this flight, and Bert in the back is flying, so I can just be a passenger and look around and talk about all this from much as I can remember it. And then we'll see how we go. Okay, here we go. Right, and off we go. So in this clip, my luck on the slopes runs out, so the cues I'm reading from on screen that you can't see. I've been making bad choices and have eroded my margins. Oh yes, see, I've turned away from that cumulus. Thinking ridge, I think. Perhaps my worst mistake was not to notice that cloud base was now above the hills, and I could have moved over to using thermal lift as a good way to gain height. That's what my script line says. Anyhow, the thought does occur to me, albeit only when I am about to hit the hillside. Given away as a spoiler. Given away what lies ahead for us. I spot a pair of reachable. No, I'm not going to tell you any more about this. We'll see when we get there. These cues are for me. Right, so what do I think I'm doing here? Not doing one thing or t'other, am I? What am I doing? I mean, this is just stupid flying, this. I really am in indecisive mode. This is not very good. And I still haven't even thought about using that cumulus cloud that was winking at me. Dearie me. What a silly fellow. I mean, I wouldn't be safe to be let loose in the real Andes, that's for sure, if I couldn't do better than this. Funny thing is, touch wood, I very rarely land out on a Condor task. I mean, some of the stuff I do would get you grounded and probably prosecuted in a court or something. But much more often than not, I survived. Which I'm happy I've done, because when you do a cross-country task of some length, you put a lot into it, really, and it really is disappointing if well into the task, having put a lot of effort into it, you just get it wrong and have to land out. Of course, on this task, in a landscape like this, the land-out options are extremely limited. So, there's that little bit of excitement as well. When I actually flew this task, I couldn't be landing out in the main. I mean, even if there was a place where I could land in one piece and survive, I'd probably be in a landscape where no one would even know where I was, that I'd landed there, no one could get to me, no one would care except some banditos who might rob me and then kill me. I don't know what it's like around here in real life. It's a lovely landscape to fly in, and the idea that you're flying in the Andes is really great. So I think, yeah, I think this is a ridge line ahead, possibly with an opportunity for sort of a good line towards it. I think that's what I'm trying to do. I think. So let's see what happens. Flying pretty much into wind. Staying out of bad sink at least. I'm adjusting my course a bit, probably to try and avoid leave that ridge and go along the spine or something. You would think this ridge ahead would be pretty good. Let's wait and see how we get on. Yeah, I mean, at the moment, I suppose it seems like a not unreasonable strategy. I've got that gap ahead of me. I can go through if I can just get a bit of height on this ridge. So, I don't know quite why there is so much sink at this particular point, I'm sure. But again, I've just got to accept what I'm looking at, you know, and work with it. So you see, we're coming onto the windward side. Yeah, there's lift, but it's not kind of rocket fuel lift, is it? And it's actually a shallower looking slope than I realised from the other side. So it's not going to be a huge lift ramp. I'm obviously heading this way because it looks a bit more like it might be over this way. And I'm hoping perhaps this will do better for me. And I'm already starting to look at these next folds coming up and starting to think perhaps somewhere there I can get a better ramp. When you actually look at them, their height seems to be, each one seems to be lower in height than the one upwind of it. So that's not going to help the situation if you're at all low. Okay, so that's worked better coming around here. It's worked very nicely. But how extensive will it be? Off already. Could it be partly to do with a thermal and a cloud above me, and I haven't really actually worked that out. Going back to find it again. And remember, as I've said on previous videos, I think the replays in Condor might not show the clouds absolutely in their correct positions. So the cloud may have been slightly more over this way, and it was indeed something to do with thermal lift that fooled me into thinking this ridge was better than it was, but I don't know. There's definitely both going on here. But again, you see, now I'm up at the cloud base, and I've got this irritating business that I can't really work this very accurately if I start getting involved with cloud. Not hugely high compared to what I have been, you know. So I think I've got to try and give that up and move forward. Now, what am I thinking here? I'm thinking I would love to be able to get through that gap there and round onto the windward side of that one. But it could be a risky strategy. I'm not sure I've safely got behind to do that. So I think I decide I've got to see if I can get some joy on sort of something here. We'll just have to see what kind of joy I do or don't get. Some joy. It's not really very well placed into wind though, is it, this? So I'm going to try and move around to this bluff or something and see if this will work better. But all the time I'm slowly losing height, and the prospect ahead is getting just a little bit trickier. These cumulus clouds are now in amongst the hills, so they wouldn't be as safer climb as the one that was out in the valley back there, where I could have climbed knowing that I was well clear of the hills and would stay well clear of the hills as I drifted back with the wind. So going for this. It's not very exciting yet. There's something, but it might be a rather small area, that's the thing. Okay, but it's raising me enough to change my perspective. Yeah, and maybe that cumulus, which in the actual flight was probably more over the glider than it is now. But either way, as the angle changes, I think I'm thinking now, yeah, and I'm still getting lift, so I think that's the cumulus doing that. I put a circle in there a bit, but hey-oh, didn't. Just used it to move on. I'm obviously thinking that this stuff up ahead, probably the stuff to the left of the nose, will give me something worthwhile. We've gone right. So what's that about? Perhaps I think I can get a little bump off this before and then get out and assess that one better. I don't know what I'm thinking here. This is very strange behaviour. I wouldn't call this good flying. Nasty sink. So now I've really got to just dive like mad to get out of this. And of course I'm in a tight spot now. I'm thinking, whoa, I'm getting low amongst the hills here. And if that one didn't work, what makes me think this one's going to work? I'm right into wind here. I think I'm beginning to realise it. I think I'm disorientated. Got myself disorientated here. It's not good. This is absolutely in the lee of the wind. You don't want to be here. What are you thinking? Are you thinking? Maybe I've worked it out and thought I've just got to get to here. Try and rise on this lot if I can, but I think I'm feeling pretty desperate by now. I'm not going to make it. Well, that's something. Got myself on a more windward thing is starting to rise, thank God for that. I don't know whether I knew what I was doing there or not. Anyway, this is better. Let's try and see if we can get some height back. But we are rather in amongst the hills, so such good lift here, but I'll certainly snap your hand off and take it. Quite remarkable lift for no obvious explanation. Of course, I still wasn't thinking in wave mode, just in case wave was involved. What am I doing here? Am I thinking... I obviously want to go in that direction because that's towards my finishing point. I almost wonder whether that mountain you can see in the haze in the far distance might be the one I used to climb at the very beginning of the task. Well, before I set off on task, the one that's next to the airfield. So near and... no. So near and yet so far and yet so much farther. I've got to survive, and again, this is not good here. This is not good. And it shouldn't be this bad because I'm not in the lee of anything. I don't know why it's quite this bad. This is to do with wave speed, but look at the sink here. It is horrendous, and I don't understand why it's happening. I'm disorientated because I'm kind of putting in the lee of something here. I kind of know this, and I've got to get over onto the windward side. Quite why I'm zigzagging and dithering like this, I don't know. Perhaps so I think there is some prospect of something by a hill and nothing where there isn't a hill. Desperately rounding here, trying to get on the windward side and pick up some lift. That's just a disappointment, although that should be into wind. What is going on? So I turn around here in desperation, hoping it will work. Not enough speed on for flying on a ridge like this, but by this time I'm decidedly ragged. Get a bit there. It's not great. And you know, it's just a little tiny spot. I'm really in a mess here. Really in a bit of a mess. Yeah, this is the thing I talked about earlier about getting trapped on a slope. I'm kind of trapped here and I just don't know quite what to do. And because it involves so much flying, it's not as though I can actually look out and think much. Look at that speed, I'm down to like 45 knots. I should not be at that kind of speed in this kind of location. I'm risking a complete stall out. Oh my God, look at this. This is not good. This is not good at all. Oh, yet, I mean, this should be into wind, isn't it strange? And I'm no height above ground at all, I'm flying very slowly, and I think at this point, as Maverick said to Goose, I've had about enough of this shit. And I think suddenly I look at these cumulus and I think, you know, this is no good. I've just got to head out to the valley and hope one of those cumulus works. I'll probably look at that one as being nice, but then I think it's further away. This one is nearer, so I think if I can head for this one, and it gives me something, just something, and I can begin to try and rethink things and then perhaps head for the next cumulus upwind, because there are plenty of them. But you know, not having used a cumulus cloud at all on this flight so far, no idea what to expect. They're only set to average climb, so they may not be particularly useful cumulus. And the wind is 20 knots from the west, and you realise coming up this valley it's probably speeded up quite a bit as well. So let us see. And I'm saying to myself, fly this thermal well. Don't make a pig's ear of it, because you need it. Again, remember that Condor 2 in replay doesn't always show the clouds in quite the correct position. Strictly speaking, if the wind's coming from more or less there, over the nose, that lift would have been upwind of this cloud a bit. I don't think I'd be flying in quite this position, but anyway, I haven't centered it yet either. So let's wait and see. Probably at least I've gathered now, well, there is lift there. Just got to fly it properly. Recenter. Now, of course, we do want to be trying to fly so slow and tight if we can. Yeah, I'm probably feeling a bit cheered now because this is better than the slopes have been offering me just those last couple of ridges, hillsides. And you know, as long as I stay calm and recenter, I can stay with it, and even if it drifts me back, I will be climbing. Now, don't lose it, don't spin out either. Recenter. Let's see, back off a little bit just to try and get it centered. In real life, in the Andes, I'd probably have a Condor here to actually mark the thermal for me, and he'd tell me where I need to fly for the center. Haha. Well, I'm not doing too badly here. Yeah, we're almost up to 6 knots on the averager. Coming up 6,000 feet, so I probably breathing a huge sigh of relief. I think I probably thought that the other Cumulus was better than this one. I would just use this for a bit, but actually I must have decided by now that this is perfectly good enough. Let's not risk leaving it. The thermal in the hand is worth 2 upwind. Recentering again, seems to have been worth it. Speed control when thermaling in Condor I find quite tricky because you have no feel or feedback from the stick, and the joystick itself can have a little bit of floatiness in its mechanics, electronics, and similarly with the trimmer when you try and trim the plane for thermaling. So I'll probably decide this is cloud-based, so that's not to get me out of trouble. Thermals here seem to work. Let's move into wind and try our luck with another one. And I'm probably now looking at some of these ridges and thinking, you know, surely these are going to help me now, because there's one to the left and one to the right. One to the right seems to go up to quite a height. So, you know, if I need it, that one will be there. Quite why I haven't flown underneath that cloud a bit more, that Cumulus. Perhaps I will, perhaps I won't. The one ahead is decaying. I think I'm probably... Oh, sorry. That was, I thought it was me jogging the keyboard at the end of the lesson, but no. That was the end of that clip. So I think basically I'm out of trouble now. And I'm not sure how much of this next section I cover in the next clip. I think the last clip is really there just to show the fun of a final glide in this kind of landscape back to the airport, to the airfield, the finishing point. But basically, I recall things just got good again after this. I think those ridge things worked. And if you look to the middle distance, I think by the time I get around that, I think there's, I'm not sure if I even needed it that much, but I think, you know, you get to a point where you can't go wrong again. There's some really good slopes. So no, I just think the pilot workload got too much. I got disorientated, made some bad decisions. There were some mysteries, like don't quite understand why that last slope was so bad, given it was into wind. But then again, this is, you know, Condor, and I mean, life can be like that when you're flying gliders. You just... something doesn't work out, and you then just got to try and think while you're flying. And this is where I find Condor it's very good a mental exercise, because you do get under a high pilot workload, and getting better at this kind of thing is all about learning to take a higher pilot workload in your stride rather than letting it unravel you. And you can simulate a lot of that in Condor, and then translate that experience into a real cockpit when you get there. Because, you know, when you get to a real cockpit, of course, the consequences of unraveling can be altogether more profound than the consequences in Condor, where you can take the visor off and make a cup of tea. Anyway, that's the end of this clip. Like and subscribe if you've enjoyed it, and come back and join us for clip 8, the final clip of this flight. And yeah, okay. Hope you enjoyed it, and bye for now.
I got a feeling so strong. Maybe someday our sky